So you finally hit $20,000 in savings. Congratulations. You crossed that first major wealth threshold. You're feeling good, sleeping better, maybe even thinking about what car you're going to buy to celebrate. Stop right there, because what I'm about to tell you is going to completely change how you see that money. That $20,000 isn't the finish line. It's not even close. It's actually the starting gun for a race most people don't even know exists. And what you do in the next 12 months will determine whether you join the wealthy or stay stuck watching them from the sidelines. My name is Ryan, and today we're talking about the hidden accelerators that activate once you hit $20,000. The things nobody tells you about because they either don't know or don't want you to know. Here's what blows my mind. Most people think wealth building is linear. You save $1,000 a month, you have $12,000 at the end of the year. Simple math, right? Wrong. Once you hit $20,000, you enter what I call the velocity zone. This is where your money starts moving faster than your effort. And most people completely miss it because they're too busy celebrating the milestone instead of exploiting it. Let me show you something wild. When you have $20,000 invested at 8% returns and you're adding $1,000 monthly, you're not just saving money anymore. You're creating a compounding machine. That $20,000 generates $1,600 in passive returns per year. That's $133 every single month showing up without you lifting a finger. But here's where it gets insane. At $40,000, those same 8% returns give you $3,200 annually. That's $266 per month. You didn't change your investment strategy. You didn't take more risk. You didn't work harder. The only difference is scale, and scale is everything. By the time you hit $100,000, your money is making $8,000 per year. That's $667 monthly. You're literally earning more from your investments than some people make at their jobs, and you're doing absolutely nothing. This is the velocity principle. The rate at which your wealth grows accelerates exponentially once you cross key thresholds. But most people never experience this because they sabotage themselves right after hitting $20,000. Let me tell you about the 3 ways people absolutely destroy their momentum right after hitting $20,000. Mistake number 1, lifestyle inflation gone wild. You've been disciplined for months or years. You finally have money in the bank. So naturally, you think you deserve to treat yourself. Maybe it's a nicer apartment. Maybe it's a car upgrade. Maybe it's just spending more freely because you can finally afford it. Here's the brutal truth. That $20,000 to $100,000 range is the most dangerous financial zone you'll ever navigate. You have enough money to feel wealthy, but not enough to actually be wealthy. And this illusion destroys more financial futures than anything else. When you upgrade your lifestyle before your wealth can support it, you're not treating yourself. You're robbing your future self. That extra $500 a month on a nicer car doesn't just cost you $500. Over 20 years at 8% returns, that's $294,000 you just vaporized for a car that'll be worthless in a decade. Mistake number 2, the safety net trap. Some people hit $20,000 and think, great, now I have my emergency fund. I'm done. They keep adding to it, watching it grow to $25,000, then $30,000, all sitting in a savings account earning 4% while inflation runs at 3%. You're not building wealth. You're hoarding cash while it slowly loses purchasing power. Your $20,000 emergency fund is perfect. Anything beyond that needs to be working harder, way harder. Mistake number 3, dabbling in everything. This is where people get dangerous. They have $20,000. They feel invincible, so they start making moves. A little crypto here, some individual stocks there. Maybe they fund their buddy's startup or try day trading because they saw it on YouTube. Suddenly, That $20,000 they carefully saved is scattered across a dozen mediocre or straight-up bad investments. They're not diversified. They're distracted. And distraction is the enemy of wealth building. Here's what wealthy people actually do once they hit $20,000. And I'm talking about people who've gone from $20,000 to seven figures, not trust fund kids who inherited everything. They get boring, deliberately, strategically boring. They take that $20,000, they put in a simple index fund like the S&P 500 or a total market fund, and then they forget about it. They don't check it every day. They don't panic when it drops. They don't get excited when it surges. They just let it sit there and compound while they focus on one thing: making more money. This is the secret nobody wants to hear because it's not sexy. The fastest way to grow your wealth from $20,000 to $100,000 isn't through some genius investment strategy. It's through earning more and saving the difference. When you have $20,000 saved, you've proven something crucial. You can control your spending. You could delay gratification. You can stick to a plan. These are the exact skills you need to negotiate better pay, switch to higher paying jobs, or build a side income. The person who focuses on bumping their income from $60,000 to $80,000 and banking most of that difference will hit $100,000 in their investment account faster than someone trying to beat the market with clever trades. But here's the thing that makes this strategy so powerful. Your investments are still growing in the background. That $20,000 is compounding. The money you're adding is compounding. And suddenly, you look up 3 years later and you're sitting on $80,000 or $100,000 because you were disciplined enough to keep it simple. You know what's crazy? $20,000 changes your psychology, but $100,000 changes the actual game you're playing. $100,000, something magical happens. Charlie Munger called it, the first $100,000 is a bitch, but you got to do it. Why? Because at $100,000, your money is generating $8,000 annually at 8% returns. That's real money. That's a car payment or rent or a massive chunk of your living expenses covered by investments alone. But more importantly, at $100,000, you start seeing opportunities that literally didn't exist before. Real estate deals where you can put 20% down. Business investments that require accredited investor status. Even simple things like better interest rates and credit offers that save you thousands. The jump from $0 to $20,000 took you 19 months of grinding. The jump from $20,000 to $100,000 might take you another 4 to 5 years if you're consistent. But here's the insane part. Once you hit $100,000, the next $100,000 can happen in just 3 years. Same effort, same discipline. The only difference is scale working in your favor. So yeah, hitting $20,000 is huge. It's the moment everything starts changing. But it's also the moment where most people fumble the bag by celebrating too early or making emotional decisions with their money. Your mission right now isn't to figure out how to spend that $20,000. It's to protect it, keep adding to it, and stay focused on the bigger goal. Because the difference between someone with $20,000 and someone with $100,000 isn't intelligence or luck. It's just patience and discipline for another few years. Don't be the person who looks back 5 years from now wondering where it all went. Be the person who looks back and says, I can't believe I actually did it. If this changed how you see your money, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me where you're at on your journey to $100,000. Let's build wealth together.